Okay, the best way, as I said, you start with an original piece of Mayan art. Like this one is of the jaguar. This was, as I said, this was an actual plate, actually a bowl that was done by the folk people of Guatemala. This is what it starts with. And like I said, you just photocopy it. And then what you do is you cut out certain parts, like the jaguar itself and the leaves around him. And what it is, all of them have a circumference, a margin around. So if you just cut the inside, you'll get the circumference like it'll come out like that. And what I tell them is start with the circumference, start with the outer edge, and then just go in there and you have a stencil and you get like that coloring book effect. You have the complete outline and you can you paint it. And as I said, you can use acrylic. If you can't use acrylic, you can use markers. And you can get different sizes. These just happen to be Sharpies. You just need a few colors. You pick the colors you want. If you have kids, you can do it with crayon. You can do it with anything. But I would recommend the acrylic, which is good to work with, better than watercolor, because if you go on wood, the wood just absorbs it. You'd have to put a couple of layers to get the same effect. Acrylic gives you a nice, rich texture and a good presentation. So I'll just do this over here. You'll start with the blank plate, of course. Basically put it in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. I always tell them you do what you want. So you'll start just the basic pencil, number 2, which is the best one, it's the softest one. You go around. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's often stuff people really get hung up on it. Then you just do the inside, and you just do the basic image. You just trace along. So you'll get that. Once you've cut it out, you get a good one. You can cut it out, do the cutout with a razor or an X-Acto blade, or you can do it with scissors. But you do that one, so you'll have something for them to start with. So we'll have that, and you just get a basic outline of the image itself, and this one is the jaguar. The leaves, if you want to have the leaves in the same place, that's good. They don't have to. They could. I've told them you can do it upside down or whichever way you want. If they do it that way, then you may want to just do a little bit of masking tape just to give it a little bit of stability. But you do the leaves. The leaves don't have to be the same size or anything else. And you just do that. And you have an image to work with. Then from there, the next step is the color. What I always tell the students, the best way to do it is do the inside. If you do the inside, you start with this image, and you'll have that. And like this, and they can do any color. Sometimes they do a night shot, night color, and just paint the inside. And I tell them just go around everything. Just don't worry about the jaguar, or the rooster, or the pig, or anything. Just go around and paint. Once they have that, they'll have that with that in the middle. Then the leaves, like as you see in this one, the leaves aren't the same color. They use the red, blue, orange, and green. They can do whatever they want. Then you just do the outer edge, whatever color combinations, and they get creative, so that's always a good one. Then the inside, just so happened in this one, as you see the original piece, they had these circles and they put the dots which represent the stars at night, and they can just do any pattern they want with it. Like I said, acrylic is the best, and the way we do it, when we do our events, they have them painted in acrylic, and they're really good. Just basic acrylic brushes, they'll go over everything, then they'll just do the dots with the finer ones, do that. But I always have them go along the edge so it's more defined with a marker, and black is usually the color, but they can use any color, or they could actually paint the inside with acrylic. So they could do that, you know, any combination of color. But once they have this, it's done and they love it. Once you finish painting, you have the paint on there, and since you'll be doing it in steps, you'll start, as I said, with the basic background like this one in yellow. That one, by the time you get to the actual animal and you get the detail, that'll be dry. But and a lot of the students do, they glob it on. They'll glob it on usually. I usually tell them, no, you don't want that much. Sometimes what I'll do also, I'll sort of use a piece of tissue paper very lightly to absorb a lot of it, so you don't get big globs of acrylic paint. But once you have it, you just put it down and you start blow drying it. And the time of it, it doesn't have to be a long time, relatively. 30 seconds to a minute is more than enough for you to do it. And you could see as you blow dry it, you just look at it and get a reflection, and you could see where certain spots are wet and some of them have dried up. Better than a blow dryer, if you put it in the sun. There's nothing like sunlight. That dries it up right away, no matter if it's a cold day or it's a warm day, it'll dry it quickly. That's why you want the name on the back, and they'll recognize their own artwork, but you just leave it out there, and I would say maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. It'll dry it pretty quick when you just put it in the sun. You may just want to use some Krylon spray just to give it a nice glaze on it. It looks good. These actually look good. They're flatter looking, more matte finish, but the glazed ones look good. Either way, those are alternatives. So as I said, you can use a plate, a bowl I mean, or you can use a plate to make it look like a plaque. Either way, they're gonna come out good.
Aprender un poco más sobre la cultura maya y los animales que usaban en sus pinturas. Ahora, los niños que nos ven, tengo un reto para ustedes. Pídanle a sus papás que le impriman la foto que encontrarán en nuestro enlace. Píntenla, coloreen, hagan su propia forma de arte. Y cuando la suban al internet, usen nuestro hashtag para que lo podamos ver también. So you just got to see a little bit more about the Mayan influence and how they incorporated animals into their painting. So my challenge to the kids watching is this. Have your parents print out the PDF file attached to this video so that you can color it, paint it, draw it your own way, and send it with our hashtag so that we can see it too.